Good. Okay. Well, to those of you who've just joined again, thank you so much and welcome. I was joking a couple of seconds ago about Oman looking a little bit different, and let me explain why. It's obviously for many of you based in Europe, obviously vacation time, and Oman is enjoying some time off. So as I said, the person joining me is looking a little bit different to Oman. And for those of you who have probably heard or spoken with Saurav many times, at least in my region, I know he joins me on many of the calls. And so let me introduce you if you haven't already met to Saurav. He's one of our technical consultants, senior technical consultant based in our Manchester office, and it's really good to have him join me today. And in fact, the punishment of being the special guest is that he's going to do most of the talking today. So thanks for joining me, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart, for the opportunity.
Perfect. Good. Well, for today's topics, we and I actually don't think we've touched on iOS before in any of the previous sessions that Oman and I have handled. And so it was a really good opportunity to be able to ask Saurav to run through iOS enrollment, specifically using Apple ADE. And we know, obviously, there are various ways of being able to enroll iOS devices, but quite regularly, and at least from the partner base that we interact with more regularly, we have had this request, and so it was a nice one to ask Saurav to touch on and to run through. And obviously we're expecting it's going to take some time, and so just at the end, and while we're talking about iOS, I'm going to touch very briefly on the way to be able to block list and allow list applications on iOS devices. And obviously, for those of you who have used iOS, you will know that our other solutions, for example, Sherlock, are not possible on iOS, so we have some alternate options. So let me hand over to Saurav. I'm going to pass the screen sharing to him to be able to present, and obviously ask him to take us through iOS enrollment with Apple ADE specifically. Perfect, Saurav. I've sent it back to you if you're able to share. Good. I can see it.
Thank you, Stuart. Let me start my side of session. So talking about iOS enrollment lately, a lot of our partners or customers have reached us out of how to enroll the device. So keeping that in mind, we thought of having a bits and bolts session or a coffee break session for iOS enrollment. Now there are 4 types of enrollment on iOS. Theoretically, you can enroll the iOS device in these 4 types, either using Sure MDM agent, which you can download from your app store and then scan a QR code and you are done. While this is easy enrollment, this doesn't provide you a method of supervising your devices or giving you an extra benefits on that end. And again, supervising, you can use Apple Configurator to supervise the device, and you can use this Apple Configurator directly to enroll the device and supervise while connecting it onto a Mac. Other type of enrollment is user enrollment, which is more of a BYOD side of enrollment of iOS. But our today's focus is using Apple Business Manager, which is ADE, Automated Device Enrollment, which used to be known as Apple Business Manager Enrollment or Device Enrollment Program, DEP, in the past. What exactly it is? So if you are familiar with Android, you might be knowing Google ZTE stuff. So it is similar to that. It is kind of a zero touch enrollment for iOS devices. So how to do that with Sure MDM console? So let me quickly show you over here. So what we need to do, we need to have an Apple Business Manager account first, where your devices are listed, your iOS device are listed. And you need to create a kind of iOS device connection onto your Sure MDM console, which is creating a profile by clicking on plus sign over here And then the ADE profile can be created using the details like project name, your platform. You can select your macOS, tvOS, or iOS, iPadOS, your supervision of the device if you want to enable, which is very necessary if you want to implement some kind of policies or restrictions onto the devices. If you want your MDM profile to be removable, mandatory, or if you want to enable shared kind of iPad. You can give your own details like support phone number or email addresses, and you can skip all those permissions or policies that comes up while your device starts up. So you can skip welcome or passcode setup or a Zoom or SIM setup, etc. Or you can select all, and then everything will be skipped. Now, once you have created a policy, you can connect your Apple Business Manager using ADE server over here, which means you can click on add, and then you can give the description in which devices you will be connecting. So let's say ADE, and then I select iOS, iPadOS, and then select which profile. So I can select the default profile that I have created in the previous step. Click on add, and it will be added. Now, I need to upload a server token on this, so I can upload the token on this. But first, I'll have to download the PM certificate so that I can create the connection onto your Apple Business Manager or business.apple.com as well. So I can go into Apple Business, and then I can click on my own profile, preferences, and then I can connect my MDM over here by clicking on your MDM servers. I can provide the name, for example, let's say and then I can choose a PM certificate that I have downloaded from over here. And then save it. So it will be saved, and then you can download the MDM server token from over here, which you can upload it onto your Sure MDM console, and your profile will be created, your server will be connected. You can see this using view devices, and you can push the configurations so that all the devices that are connected with this MDM profile onto your devices list will be shown onto view devices, and the configurations are received by those devices. You can start your device.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
Just a quick question for you. This process of doing that PM certificate and the token, is that done once, or is that something that needs to be done on an annual basis?
So expiration date will be shown. It is with Apple, APNS, ADE, VPP, everything renews itself per year. So you can use the same Apple Business Manager, and expiration date will be shown over here, so that you can renew your certificate every year.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So once you have uploaded everything, you are ready with your device. You just need to switch on your device and connect it to the Wi-Fi, and then automatically there will be configuration shown. You just have to go ahead, and your device will be enrolled onto Sure MDM console. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it on ADE. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's I mean, as you said, I guess for those of our partners that are more familiar with the Android ZTE as an example, it's a very, very close equivalent to that, obviously for the Apple devices.
Yeah.
Good. All right, super. Well, thank you, Saurav. Gabby, any questions that have come through so far or not?
Nothing, no question for the moment. So I'm just going to hand over the presentation.
Perfect. Let me jump back to mine. And then obviously thank you, Saurav, firstly, and I guess I might keep you around if you don't mind, just to perhaps answer any of the questions that may come up on the next topic as well, which as I said initially was from an iOS perspective, we obviously don't have the ability to be able to deploy, for example, our SureLock kiosk environment, and so One of the very useful and more common applications or configurations that our customers are using and our partners are using within our profiles is the ability to be able to either blocklist certain applications or allow list those that are the only to be displayed. So I'm going to come out of the presentation at the moment. Apologies. And thankfully, I have access to Saurav's console and have access to an iPad that he's made available. I'm going to quickly start the remote session on it while I'm chatting. And just again, I guess an important topic, and I'm going to show you once I jump to the profiles and specifically the iOS profile that I'm going to use. If I was to create this profile now, and I'm going to call it bolts. A reminder that many of the functions that you will see listed on our profile section, specifically of iOS, are only available on a device that has been supervised. And Saurav mentioned it a little bit earlier. Obviously, if you're doing the type of enrollment that he's just shown, those devices will be supervised and will I guess, extend the functionality that you potentially have on the device. So you can see a number of these are only available on supervised devices. As I said, I'm going to speak specifically about the blocklist and allowlist applications. And for the sake of this one, and just to be able to show you the concept, I'm going to block and use the camera application on the device that Saurav has with him at this moment. So obviously, blocklist, allowlist apps from within the iOS profile that I've selected, move to the blocklist apps configure. I'm going to select the camera application, and you will see it's obviously displaying those applications that are already displayed on the device itself, and save this. And again, I can obviously create a long list of applications that potentially I want to remove access to on that particular iPad, in this case, as is enrolled into this console. So let me save this profile. I'm going to jump to the device that you'll be able to see is available on Saurav's desk. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to apply the profile that we've just created, the blocklist for the camera, to the device. Let me apply this quickly. And as this begins taking place on the device, you will notice almost immediately the camera now disappears from the device. And again, the same concept could be applied to any of those applications that are already on the device as part of this configuration. Obviously, things change. Customers would need to be able to make changes and potentially allow an application or something that has been prevented in the past. And so let's go and do the same. Obviously, in this case, I'm just going to remove the active profile on this device. It only had that block of the camera application on it. You'll see I have the ability to be able to view the installed profile, being bits and bolts, and to be able to use this button over here to be able to remove that profile. So let me click on that. And if all goes according to plan, we should see the camera application arriving on Saurav's iPad in a couple of seconds. So really the concept, as we've shown again, is that in a very similar way to what you would have seen on a traditional device or an Android device or many of the other operating systems. The ability to use Sure MDM to be able to control and remove or grant access to certain applications is obviously really, really helpful and obviously useful in a company-owned type of environment. And obviously there, while I was chatting, the camera has appeared again on the iPad, and so I hope, although this is really quick and easy, I hope that this may be useful to some of you as you may need on some of the deployments that you're involved in. A reminder again, and I just did a quick search just before we began, consult or have a look at our knowledge base. This one gives exact steps that I've just shown for the ability to be able to blocklist and allow list applications, and various other articles, as we've said before, are available to you on this knowledge base environment that we keep updated. Good. Any other questions, Gabby, that I might have missed? I've been trying to keep an eye with one eye on the side and see. Not at all. Okay, good. Perfect. Well, then let me move to the last couple of slides, please. For those of you again, and just a reminder, I guess for our more regular attendees of these bits and bolts sessions, the recordings are available within a couple of days on a specific YouTube channel or playlist available on the 42 Years channel. You can use this QR code, as you see on the right-hand side, if you would like to be able to go directly to it. And this will obviously be available, as I said, within a couple of days. A reminder of our upcoming dates. So we have 2 sessions per month for the rest of the year, and we'll obviously release some dates beginning early next year when we get towards the end of this. The next one being on the 10th of September. And you will also notice that the timing would have changed. So yeah, please keep an eye out for those of you who are affected by daylight saving changes on those.
Sorry, that's my mistake. So that's my bad. It's still BST. I need to do that.
Perfect. No worries. You can, coming from the person who doesn't have daylight saving, you can see why I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't have been able to correct it myself. So,
the change will take place in November, so super. I need to change that. Thank you. Sorry.
Great, no problem at all. As always, please, questions, anything that you might have about it, specifically partner marketing, feel free to reach out to Gabby and the rest of the team using the partner marketing email address. Tech support is obviously available to you 24/7. And I guess if you feel like giving him on a surprise when he arrives back at work, feel free to spam him with as many questions as you possibly like on his email address or to myself as displayed on the bottom of the slide that I'm sharing. If any questions, I guess, in the meantime that you want to direct towards Saurav, please feel free to send them to me, and I'll happily pass them on, and he can connect with you directly from there.
Thank you, sir.
And then lastly, I was having a laugh at this, Gabby, a little bit earlier. For those of you who are saying goodbye to summer, there are some of us in the Southern Hemisphere that are looking forward to summer. So we'll take it. Thank you. But thank you again for everybody who has joined, and thank you, Saurav, for giving up your time to join us. We'll have to get you on more regularly. Give one or two of us a break.
Happy to.
Super. Good. Well, thank you so much again, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Perfect. Thank you.